so you've got your source data system and target system and your process. So the first level of lineage you can say is just all we care about is that knowing that what data system does something come from to what data system is coming to. So you're just tracking informationally that data from the system comes from these other systems. That can be incredibly useful. So the next thing is you may want to think about, and this is an optional second step, but you want to capture sort of the functional area or functional domain of that data. So we've got this particular system that's maybe that's your like finance system, and your finance system is getting data from your HR system, but it's really only getting like payroll data or something like that. So the finance system gets fed data from your HR system, but it's only payroll, right? So that's sort of like understanding that the data that's coming. You understand that this is a data system, but it's not everything that's flowing here. It's just these sort of areas of data that flow through. Then the next level is entity to entity. So maybe you're trying to track. You say, oh, for this particular system, I'm getting actual payments and the accounts associated to it, things like that. But you're not worried about the individual fields or the individual values, but just at an entity level. And I'll show you an example of that in a minute. The next level is where we're actually starting to get into point-to-point. So you're tracking data system object to data system object. So I've got a particular customer with their address, and that's coming into our billing system with that same address. Okay, so that's a sort of point-to-point mapping. The next level of detail is, all right, we know where it came from. I want to know what kind of transformations happen. So, okay, this address came into there, but what we're doing? We're assigning a type, or we're only bringing over these particular types of addresses, or we're translating the state codes or defaulting some values. That is where that becomes really useful. And then lastly, it's the same sort of thing, but you might have information about how this particular address field gets changed when it comes over here, but understanding that we're really only pulling that information over if if they've made a purchase, or we're only pulling over addresses that are billing addresses. We don't pull over any other addresses. So if there's any kind of overall like selection criteria or processing details or filtering that's happening, that if you just sort of said, oh, hey, this pulls over all addresses from, this billing system pulls over all addresses from the sales system, and that could give you the wrong impression, because you're like, well, why am I only seeing billing addresses? Well, the answer is that there is a filter happening here at the higher level, and why do I only have 300 people over here with addresses when I've got 3,000 over here? Well, we're only pulling over people where we've made a sale. So that kind of information you can't always see in the lineage. You have to kind of look back at the process level to see that. So the sweet spot for many people is kind of in this data system object or entity level documentation. It gets more and more complicated to get all the way down here, but there's value just in the minimum top level as well.